Welcome back, one and all. Well, you're back here. You can't get enough of us. This is episode number 5 of Thoughts and Hunches, making money in bunches and sucker punches. Stony back with you, and it's time for us to get paid. All right. Here's the thing. All right. We're going to run through some records real quick, and we got a lot of picks we're going to go through, so we're going to run through them pretty quick tonight. We're basically watching the Dodgers finish off the Rays right now. It's 6-2 Dodgers in the ninth inning of Game 3 of the World Series to give the Dodgers a 2-1 lead. And that pretty much puts the Dodgers in control because they've got Urias going tomorrow, or Urias, however it's pronounced. I think it's Urias. He's going up against the bullpen by committee session for the Rays. So the Rays are in trouble, making tomorrow a must-win situation because they absolutely cannot go down 3-1. That'll spell doom for them. We still have the Rays winning the World Series. I mean, we had them from the start. We had them beating the Braves in the World Series, and we haven't given up hope yet, but we're still hanging on the Rays to pull it out. Last week in the NCAA, we went 4-3, and we also went 4-3 in the NFL. So we're now 11-3 in NCAA and 7-7 in the NFL. So it's time to pick it up a little bit in the NFL to really get things going. Now, as we move on, sorry, but it is what it is. Here we go. NCAA football starting Saturday. We've got the debuts of the Mountain West Conference and the Big Ten Conference. So both of them are going to be kicking off their seasons. So while we will be dabbling and touching on some of those games, we won't be hitting them big because we really don't know right now. I mean, the unknown is the unknown, and but we are going to play some of them. So here we go. We got a dozen games for you for NCAA. We're going to start right off the bat. First game on the board: Clemson minus 46.5 against Syracuse. We're going to take Clemson at home. We're going to lay the number. Yes, we're laying 6.5 touchdowns before the game even starts. Yeah, we're going to lay it because Clemson knows that Alabama and all the other big schools are playing later on in the day. Clemson wants to put up a number, put up a massive number early. They hung 70 last week on Georgia Tech, and Syracuse just doesn't have a prayer. So we're going to take Clemson. We're going to lay 46.5. Call us crazy, call us what you want, but we're going to, it would be easier to lay the 46.5 than it would be to take them and kick yourself when Clemson wins the game 59-0. Anyway, take Clemson at home. Easy one. Second game is a bit of a surprise with NC State off to a hot 4-1 start. They've surprised a lot of folks in the ACC. Nobody really expected them to be playing this well. They're on the road against crosstown rival North Carolina, and we all know Carolina, and they're doing it well. I mean, they're 3-1. They're having a good year. They got upset last week at Florida State, so you kind of expect them to bounce back strong. But 15.5 is a big number, so we're going to take NC State on the road at North Carolina and take the 15.5. Big Ten football. Call us crazy, but we're going to take the points with Nebraska at Ohio State. Yes, Ohio State is that team that's always there, and they're the favorites once again to win the Big Ten and probably get into the college football playoff as long as they stay healthy. And they're 26.5 point chalk at home against Nebraska, but sorry, we'll take the points. And if Ohio State wins 35-0, so be it. We'd rather take the points in this one. First game of the year, not really sure what to expect. We're going to take the points. The next game, another Big Ten game. We're going to take Indiana +6 at home against Penn State. Indiana's got a lot of players returning from a good team last year, and Penn State has a lot of players that they have to replace from last year. And although we're big fans of Happy Valley and big fans of the Nittany Lions, 6 points. I mean, we see this game being decided by a field goal, and if you really want to take a flyer, Indiana on the money line wouldn't be a bad play. But take the 6 points. That's your safe play. Indiana +6. Next up, we're gonna head right up the road here to Knoxville, and it's Alabama heading to Knoxville for the annual Bama-Tennessee matchup. Tennessee doesn't have a prayer. Tennessee is getting 26 at home. We're going to lay them. Alabama is absolutely just steamrolling teams right now. That offense is absolutely on fire. When they hang 50 on Tennessee, Tennessee won't be able to score into the 20s against Alabama. So we're going to take Bama, lay the 26, and just kick back and enjoy a blowout on the road. Next up, back to the ACC, Georgia Tech as at home, they're on the road at Boston College. It's been a seesaw year for both Georgia Tech and Boston College, but Georgia Tech last week, they really got an eye-opener by getting blasted by Clemson, and they know that they're not a bad football team, but they certainly ain't as good as they thought they might be after Clemson hung 70 on them. So we expect them to bounce back strong this week. Take 3.5. Also, moneyline play is in play there if you want to take Georgia Tech to win that game outright. But we like the Yellow Jackets plus 3.5 at BC. Next up, we're going to move to the Big 12. We're going to take Texas Tech at home plus 2.5. They're only 1-2 on the year. They haven't really played that well. They're playing a really, really overvalued West Virginia team that's 3-1, but hasn't really looked that good. They could very easily be 1-3. West Virginia's 2.5-point chalk. We're going to take the home dog here and take Texas Tech plus the 2.5. Next, we move back to the SEC. We're going to take an underplay here. LSU versus USC. Yes, down here in the South, USC is the University of South Carolina, not that other one down in La La Land. LSU versus South Carolina, we're going to take under 55.5. Neither team has much of an offense, and for that part, neither team has much of a defense either. But both teams have had trouble and struggles putting up points. So we're going to take under 55.5. Next, we're going to move on to the Mountain West. And what better way to start the Mountain West with the favorites of the Mountain West every single year and take Boise State. Boise State is at home laying 17 against Utah State. Utah State's without Jordan Love. He graduated, moved on. Boise State's got Hank Bachmeier back amongst 13 other starters. And once again, they're the favorites. They're 17-point chalk on the Smurf turf up in Boise. And until somebody knocks off Boise, we'll take them. Because they have a game coming up in a couple weeks against BYU, which could be for a slot in the New Year's Six bowl game. The winner of that game could very easily go there. So anyway, Boise lay 17 at home. Back to the Big Ten, our third Big Ten play of the day. This one is, could be kind of a surprise, but we're going to take Minnesota at home plus 3.5 against Michigan. Michigan, if it was any other coach, they'd be fired by now, but they're paying Jim Harbaugh so much money, and he's just not delivering the results that the boosters and everybody at Michigan wanted by now. And PJ Fleck is building a program in Minnesota. Every year they get a little bit better and a little bit better, and they're going to start out the season with a bang. They're playing for the Little Brown Jug. And they're doing it at home. Take the 3.5 home dog. Next, we move over to the AAC, and you got two undefeated teams playing, two ranked undefeated teams. Cincinnati, 3-0, and ranked number 9 right now. But they're actually underdogs because they're on the road against 5-0 SMU. And SMU right now is playing really, really well. They're confident. They're at home. They have a feeling they can put a stranglehold on the AAC with a win today and move to 6-0 and stay undefeated. So lay the 2.5 at home, and even if they win by a field goal, it's still a chicken dinner. Finally, we go back to the Mountain West Conference for the degenerate special of the evening, the last game on the board, Air Force versus San Diego State. This is when you've lost all your money and you need one game to make it all up. Take Air Force and San Diego State over 62.5, and just doesn't matter who wins, just watch the points fly. Air Force has already played a game. They played about 3 weeks ago, and they hung 40 on Navy, who's a very good team. So Air Force has a game under their belt. This is San Diego State's first game. And we just think the points are going to fly here. So over 62.5, Air Force and San Diego State. So there's your 12-pack of games in the NCAA. Now we're going to move on to the NFL. And we're going to start right away with the second Battle of Ohio. Cleveland already beat Cincinnati when Cincinnati came in through the back door and covered on a Thursday night. That's not going to happen here. Cleveland was exposed last week really badly and beaten up soundly by Pittsburgh. But Cleveland knows, and Cleveland is a good enough team to beat a hapless Cincinnati team that's, just rebuilding and just trying to pin all their hopes on Joe Burrow, that Burrow will be fine down the line, and I think he will be. But Cleveland has the horses. Lay the 3 at Cincinnati and watch the Browns win. You're going to find a trend here going. A lot of favorites today in the in the world of the NFL. Second game, we're going to take the Saints at home -7 against Carolina. Carolina's struggling. Teddy Two Gloves, after a pretty good start without Christian McCaffrey, they've struggled the last couple weeks, and they're just they don't seem to be getting it done. The Saints are starting to round into form. This is the time of year that they start to pick up the pace. They know exactly what Tampa Bay is doing in front of them in the NFC South. So we're going to take the Saints at home and lay the touchdown. Third game, Buffalo -11 at the Jets. Buffalo has been has been beaten the last 2 weeks, both games in prime time. And they were beaten by better teams, basically. But today is the perfect day to go back to New York, even though they're on the road. They're in New Jersey. And this is the time to get healthy. Anybody that plays the Jets nowadays is getting healthy. The Jets are just a complete mess. So we're going to take Buffalo. We're going to lay the 11. Yeah, it's 11 points, but we don't give a shit. Buffalo's going to bounce 11 points easily. Buffalo wins this game 30-10. If the Jets even scored 10 points. I mean, they were shut out last week. Game 4, we've got Tennessee at home. We learned our lesson last week betting against Tennessee when Romeo Crennel just absolutely just shit the bed and handed the game over to the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are no joke. Now, we are big fans here of Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin, and we love what Pittsburgh does. We love the way they get after it defensively. But right now, for all quarterbacks in the NFL not named Russell Wilson or Pat Mahomes, Ryan Fitzpatrick is the best quarterback in the NFL, right? Ryan Fitzpatrick is getting it done. We all know he's got the best running back in the NFL, and Derrick Henry's a beast. Even if he can't get going through Blitzburgh's defense, and Blitzburgh is going to come blitzing Ryan Tannehill, and Tannehill's going to beat him. So we're going to take Tennessee -1.5 in the battle of the unbeatens, and that'll leave Tennessee as the only unbeaten team left in the AFC. Next up, we're going to Las Vegas, Tampa Bay. Right now, the Bucs know what they're doing. Arians, Brady, Gronk, the crew, they know exactly what they're doing, and their offense may not be the juggernaut that everybody thought they'd be, and that right now it's the defense that's carrying them. Well, that defense is going to go in Las Vegas, and it's going to shut down John Gruden's Raider team that has a myriad of offensive line problems with COVID. 4 of them, I think, will be missing on Sunday. And we're going to lay the 3 on the road with the Bucs over the Raiders. 49ers +2.5 on the road at New England. 49ers are rounding into form. Yes, they're still not healthy. They are absolutely blasted by injury, and they just lost Raheem Mostert last week. But expect Kyle Shanahan to put some new wrinkles into the offense. And New England seems to be trending in the other direction. Cam Newton doesn't seem to have that swag that he had at the beginning of the season, and Belichick's defenses aren't Belichick-like. So we're going to take the Niners on the road +2.5 at New England. Finally, the last game on the board, we're going to take Arizona at home +3.5 against Seattle. Yeah, it's a short week. They beat Dallas handily on Monday night. And Arizona's playing good ball. Yeah, Seattle's undefeated. They're the only undefeated team left in the NFC. But Arizona could beat them. Arizona beat them last year. And this is the perfect spot for Arizona to beat Seattle. They're at home, and they're getting 3.5. So we're going to take Arizona. So there's your 8 NFL games to go along with your 12 NCAA games. That gives us 20 games, right? So I just gave you 20 picks for the weekend. We're going to see what happens. Remember, 11 wins is a winning week. That's 55%. Yeah, it doesn't win a lot, but 11 is the number. We always shoot for 12 because we shoot for 60% around here. So we'll see what happens. Finally, our last bit of the week, we're going to start doing shout-outs every week because we get comments, and a lot of people have reached out to us, and it's been really cool. So I told some people that I would definitely shout them out. I'm going to start with my boxing gurus and MMA gurus. Even though we lost the boxing last week with Lopez winning over Lomachenko, my boxing gurus, the Klops and C. Lim, one on the left coast, one on the east coast, they both get it done, and they're all fired up for Saturday night's MMA match with Khabib that some of them say are going to lose. Don't know. I'm not the MMA guru, so I can't even bother to give a prediction. But speaking of predictions in the MMA, it's Captain Italia, my boy from the Bay Area, who is Mr. MMA, and he's claiming that Khabib is going to go down. And he's always been right on major upsets in the MMA. So if you like your MMA and you want to take a flyer, bet against Khabib tomorrow night. Captain Italia and his trusted sidekick Bevo, definitely want to give shout outs to them. And finally, here's a question for you. Okay, if you live within, let's say, 2 hours of a casino, of a sports book, okay, and that's the closest one that you can get to, okay, every Wednesday you leave your house and you drive 2 hours to go to this casino. You sit down and you claim that you're going there for lunch, right? Oh, they have great lunch at the casino. I have to go every Wednesday for lunch. And you go there, you have your lunch, then you become a degenerate and you bet 30 to 40 games, all at $5 each. Okay, fine. To each his own. I'm not telling you how much to bet, but people bet. So if you go up there and you come back with 1,000 tickets, right? And then you text me and you only show me the winners. When you lose a bet, you never show me that ticket that shows the loser on it. It's only the winners that you show. Sorry, I'm documented. I'm giving you my picks before the game starts. I don't wait until afterwards. But anyway, I got to shout out my boy back in the Bay Area who is a true degenerate and has a gambling problem and an addiction. And it's ironic that his last name rhymes with lose. Anyway, those are my shout-outs for the week. Thank you once again, one and all, for listening and coming on board. Again, if this is your first time hearing us, click the subscribe button. Every Friday night, we'll get a new video up for you and get you ready for the weekend. Yes, I know there's games on Thursday night, and there's Wisconsin rolled tonight in their first Big Ten matchup on Friday night. But this is for the weekend. It's for Saturday and Sunday and sometimes Monday games and whatnot. But anyway, every Friday night, click subscribe, and you'll be added right to the list, and you'll get notified when a new video goes up. So once again, thanks again to one and all. We appreciate everybody. And remember, if you're going to bet big, if you're going to win big, you got to bet big. And finally, good luck to you.